So typically a recruiter will come in and say, oh, I have the perfect candidate, they're exactly what you're looking for, but then when you ask them, well, what is it? Well, you know, it's not even close to what you're looking for. What we do is we don't approach the situation starting with the solution. We don't say, hey, we have the best candidate for you. Because quite frankly, I don't know what the best candidate is for you until I have a conversation with you to establish what a qualified candidate would be. And then from there, we create a specialized search based on your parameters. An HR department has a lot of things on their plate. They don't just specialize in one area. So they have benefits. They're going to have payroll. They're going to have to deal with internal issues. They're going to have to do with promotions. They have a lot of things on their plate. So when it comes to hiring and interviewing and finding the right candidate, they should absolutely use a specialty recruiter.
So when our clients are developing some real key technology in precision optics, they should call me. And the reason why they should call me and not one of my competitors, let's say so-called competitors, is that they don't have a clue about what precision optics is all about.
So a lot of times when I'm working with companies, part of my job is to do something that HR can't. I don't know what they've done before. I don't know what methods. It's usually pretty passive. I'm more proactive. And so what I try and do is use tools and resources that they're not going to use. A lot of times they use LinkedIn, they use Monster. I'm going directly into labs, talking to people who are in the trenches, explaining what my client wants. And these are the things that HR people can't do. They're not comfortable to do it. They're not capable of doing it because they don't have the type of rapport where the person on the other end is going to share with them the behind-the-scenes information that you really need to make an educated decision.
We don't call you and say, oh, we have the best candidate for your opening until we have a conversation, and together we decide what the best candidate is.
I collected a $50,000 fee on that company. Quite frankly, why I think it was valuable for that company was they would have not gotten either candidate if it was not for me, because neither candidate was actively looking. I knew both candidates. I knew the marketplace intimately. I knew who to call quickly. And the bottom line with companies, when they have a position they're looking to fill that's extremely important to the organization, is speed. They need the person there yesterday. So if you go through a search process and it takes you months and months and months to fill it, you've lost all that productivity in your organization, in that group, which is it's hard to quantify, but it's a lot of money. Spending the $50,000 on me, or whatever my fee was for that one, in this case was $50,000, was well worth it for them, because I contacted everyone out there who could do what they needed. I knew who those people were. I knew who would move, and the process went a lot smoother and a lot quicker, and quite frankly, they wouldn't have had either candidate if it wasn't for me.
The reason they should use us over other firms, can vary in reasons. It really depends on what their needs are. So I don't want to say there's one blanket answer as to why they should use us. I would really need to know exactly what their problem is and let them know, first off, I may not be able to solve it. You might need to use another firm. And I'm comfortable saying that because I know what I'm good at and what I'm not good at.
The largest fee that I ever received for one placement was $90,000. It was with a major pharmaceutical company who had a position open for a year. And when I got into the search, they didn't think they could fill it, and I asked them a bunch of questions why. And I had actually identified somebody who they knew of, but they didn't think they could attract. And I asked them why they didn't think they could attract the person, and they said, well, let me give it a shot. So I talked to the person, developed the relationship with the person, and more importantly, developed the relationship with that person's significant other, because at the end of the day, the significant other is the one who convinced that person to take the job. And that's something that a client probably would never figure out how to do.
There are certain distinct advantages of using a third-party recruiter like myself as opposed to an internal recruiter. First off, I get to play by different rules. Since I'm not part of the company, I don't have to deal with any sort of internal rules or internal bureaucracy that might be involved in performing a search, i.e. I can call your direct competitors, I can call anyone in that competitor, and it's not going to be something where it gets back to the organization and it might cause a problem between the two companies. Now, one of the key advantages of using us specifically, Diedre Moire, as a specialty recruiter, is We have the largest private database of resumes. We have over 7 million technical professionals. Now, they're not going to all be in one specific marketplace. We have a variety of specialties, but that allows me to have a distinct advantage over anybody else, whether they're internal or external, because I know more people and I have access to more people than your internal department will or another external resource will.